Stop worrying about genetics and just work out. I'm in a lot of various fitness groups on places like Reddit, Facebook, all that type of stuff, and something I'm seeing constantly is people posting pictures of themselves and saying, how are my genetics? What do you think of my genetics? Do you think I'll be any good at bodybuilding? What do you think of me? How do I look? And I've seen ones like, I've been training for 2 months, how are my genetics? And I think this stems from a lot of videos from guys like Greg Doucette.
See visually the genetic potential that they have.
And Derek from More Plates, More Dates, because they talk a lot about various physiques, natty or not, all that stuff, how people have great genetics, some people have bad genetics for building muscle, all this type of stuff. But the thing is, it's really hard to tell that until after someone puts in years and years of work. And the people that they talk about in their videos typically have, so it's easy to determine what the genetics are like. And this is stuff like, how much muscle could you build just naturally, or even if you're taking steroids or what else. But also how your muscles look, the shape of them, muscle bellies, inserts, all these different things. And it's good to learn that stuff because you understand, okay, some people have different genetic potentials, helps you understand, if I work out, that doesn't mean I'm gonna look like Thor. It doesn't mean I'm gonna look like Captain America or these other people I see in movies. And it can help to give you a proper outlook or mindset of what to expect when you do start working out. But it can also be hurtful based on what I've seen from all these different groups because people are getting obsessed with genetics. Do you think I have the good genetics for working out? It's almost like, is it even worth my time to work out? I mean, if someone says, no, you have bad genetics, like, are you just not gonna work out? I mean, are you only gonna start doing this and try to be healthier, try to improve your physique if you can only make it to the top level of whatever? I mean, there's thousands and thousands of guys. Look at the last Mr. Olympia. How many guys qualified? It's ridiculous. Like, there's so many people there. But if you're only gonna start working out if you think you can hit the top levels, then I think you just have the wrong outlook on just improving your physique overall, because it's something you need to love and enjoy doing if you're really gonna stick with it. Because just like anything else, if you just kind of get into it haphazardly and you're not interested in it, it's probably not gonna last. And why are people constantly asking this question? For me, I think it comes down to 2 reasons. One is people are just fishing for compliments, or they want a reason to post their physique to see what other people think of them. And doing that online is kind of a scary thing to do because people will rip you apart, especially in those groups. Either people think they look way better than you and they tell you look terrible, or people think you look great and that's how they want to look, so everyone's praising you. You know, why do you need validation from other people online on how your own physique looks? I mean, whatever. But on the other hand, people genuinely don't know, and they think if someone tells them, yeah, you have good genetics, then they might as well push hard and work out. But here's the thing. Regardless of what anyone else says, you're not gonna know what your genetic potential is until you've been at it for years and years and you've been consistent with diet and training and whatever other supplements you take. So you think that genetics matters, and to a certain extent it does if you wanna make a career out of it. But if you're having to ask people, do you think I have good genetics? It doesn't matter at this point. You don't know, they don't know. What matters is that you train consistently. You get into a program and you actually dedicate yourself to following through with your commitment. Because if they say you don't, are you just not gonna lift or you're not gonna pursue anything? You'll never know if you don't try. And here's the thing about genetics, you can't change it. So what someone else says, what someone else thinks, it doesn't matter. You can't change the shape of your muscles. Some people have rounder pecs, some people have square pecs, some people have a big bicep peak, some people's biceps are wider. Some people have huge legs, look at Big Ramy compared to other guys in the open class. I mean, you can't change what your genetics are, so stop worrying about it. Just know that because of genetics, you won't look like someone else, just like someone else won't look like you, and you don't know what you could look like until you get into a consistent program. And get down to a body fat percentage where you can see your muscle, and push hard and train hard to make sure you're eating right, and learn about macros and calories and all that different stuff, everything that goes in the mix, and be consistent with it. Because it is not an easy process. Building muscle is very difficult, especially the longer you do it, because you might make some good gains initially, and it's gonna slow down until you eventually hit that genetic potential, your genetic limit. And at that point, you'll know, do I have good genetics to continue pushing further if I was to take other type of supplements? Who knows? But you definitely don't know right now. Because guys like Greg Doucette or Derek from More Plates, More Dates, they can look at guys now and then go back and look at pictures of them years and years prior and be like, oh yeah, it looks like he had good genetics to get to this point. But if you just looked at him back then and were like, oh yeah, if you start working out, you're gonna have great genetics to build a lot of muscle. You don't know that, and a lot of people don't even train very hard. They go to the gym, I watch it. I joined a gym a few months ago because I wanted some more variety of machines instead of just working out in my garage. And I see people not pushing themselves very hard at all, sitting there just scrolling on their phone while doing a leg extension or a leg curl, and they're not pushing hard at all. So rather than thinking about genetics, something you can't control, instead let's think about what you can control. That is your training, that is your diet, that's the supplements you take, how much you sleep, all those different aspects that contribute to how you're going to look. And stop seeking validation online from other people. That is the worst thing you can do to yourself, and that is the problem why I hate things like Instagram, because all it is me, 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 look at me, look how great I am, look at all this. And I know, I'm on Instagram too. When I first started this channel, I thought about not even doing an Instagram, but it is a good way to connect with people and message back and forth. Plus, I found that it is a really easy place to track my progress in all my lifts. That's why I'm always posting things, seeing how much I can lift in my bench press for how many reps or squat and all that type of stuff. And I can easily go back and see a date and time stamp with that lift in that rep range, and I can track over time how long it took me to progress in various lifts, how my techniques changed, how my forms changed. It's a really good way to do that because I don't have to store all that stuff in my computer. It's stored on that program, which I guess could get shut down for some reason if they don't like me, but you know, that's for the future. But that's one of the reasons I really like it, and I can see my progress over time easily and hopefully encourage others to show that, hey, you push hard, you can make progress, because that's what this channel is about, is helping other people. So when it comes to just looking at Instagram though, it can be very disheartening because you see people at their peak all the time and looking great, and you think, oh, I want to look like that, and you don't realize they don't even look like that all the time. It's for this photo shoot they did. So don't compare yourself to them. I say it all the time, compare yourself to yourself. Engage your success based on that, because like we said, that person might look awesome on Instagram or whatever else, but genetics, you can't look like them. Even if you got the same body fat, the same amount of muscle, your body's gonna look different. But what you can do is compare yourself to how you looked before, and that's one of the best ways, taking pictures every 6 months or so and be like, oh, you know what? It is working, I'm looking better, I'm getting towards the goals that I wanted for myself. So get on a good program, diet, training, consistent, all that type of stuff, and you will see progress overall. Genetics, just throw it out the window. Just think about genetics don't matter. What matters is that you're consistent, you go hard, you track your progress, you do better over time, and you'll be surprised at what you could achieve. I hope that was helpful. And speaking of Instagram, at Camber Fitness, that's my account. Yeah, forget genetics. See you soon.